How we doing, guys? It is finished. Fulham 0, Arsenal 3. And I'll tell you something, that's a little bit easier on the old heart rate. So it's finished. Fulham 0, Arsenal 3. And I'll tell you something, that was very, very relaxing. If you think 8 days ago against Bournemouth, it was absolutely mental. And it's kind of like the two polar opposites in terms of a result. You have one where it's just absolute chaos and, you know, a last kick of the game winner and it's just pandemonium. And then you have the one like today where it's just calm, it's relaxed, and it's like, that was easy. And, you know, we've been hearing from everybody for quite a long time now that, you know, we're going to start dropping points. And when we lost Jesus and all these different things, and then it's, the Europa League starting again, that's when they're going to fall apart. And I was looking at today's game and I'm thinking, you know what, Fulham are 5th in the league. Last couple of games, you know, their results ain't been great, but they've had a great season. And they've got dangerous players with the likes of Mitrovic. And I was looking at that and I was thinking, this could be a bit of a sticky one. We're, you know, really going to have to turn up and play well. And especially after Thursday with the Europa League and whatnot. And in that first half, it was quite possibly some of the best football I've seen in the Premier League all season by any team, let alone Arsenal, by any team. It was an absolute domination. It was destruction beyond any recognition. What we did to Fulham in that first half. We had a goal disallowed as well. And if you're going to be overly critical, it should have been at least 6 or 7. We were that dominant. We had that many clear-cut chances. And then I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, come out for the second half. You know, Fulham will probably, first 10 minutes, have a go. In the hope that they might be able to get a goal and make things a little nervy and whatnot. And they did come out, fair play to them in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. But yeah, after that little period, we just took full control of the game. And it was one of those, game management. If you get a 4th or 5th, great. And we had our chances to do that. But overall, it's just about get the 3 points, move on. And that's basically it. And we got the opportunity of bringing Gabriel Jesus on as well from the bench in the final 15 minutes. Should have scored as well. You know, what I would say to that is probably that maybe he's a little bit sharper. He does finish it. But that little cameo from him shows exactly why he's so important and how good he actually is with his link up and everything else. It was like he hadn't been away. So, you know, once he gets that little bit of match sharpness and more minutes in his legs, yeah, that's a big one for us, man. Him coming back. Because you remember when he got injured at the World Cup, everyone said, that's it. Arsenal are done. Title challenge over. It was good while it lasted, etc., etc. And, you know, we move now to March. 5 points clear still, and Jesus has returned. Says it all, doesn't it? First half performance again, Trossard. Wow. Hat-trick of assists. Just wow. And look, I know that people will say that he wasn't our first choice signing, and, you know, everyone knows that we were after, you know, Mudryk, for example, but I'm not going to doubt what Mudryk can probably end up becoming in terms of a player. And that was obviously one, you know, for the years, you know, down the line, so we say, despite that kind of money that was being spent. But I don't think Mudryk would have had the impact that Trossard has had in this, you know, short space of time. Going out and getting a Premier League proven player, I think was just a shrewd piece of business. And you know, sometimes, you know, you need things to just fall in your lap a little bit. You need that little bit of, you know, luck. So, you know, Chelsea going all in and taking Mudryk ended up meaning we could go for Trossard. And I don't think there's a single Arsenal fan would swap him. He was absolutely immense. And, yeah, I don't know what they've been feeding the Arsenal players this week because Trossard was, you know, not meant to be back until after the international break. And he came back and put that kind of performance in. Absolutely immense. Couple of little statistics for you as well. We are the first team in history to keep 5 clean sheets away from home in London derbies. First team in history. So our last 5 London derbies away from home, we've kept 5 clean sheets. And I think I'm right in saying this, but we now have more clean sheets away from home than the Invincible season. That is a phenomenal statistic. And I was looking through some tweets earlier, and I tweeted something in January. It was the middle of January, and I was talking about our remaining games. And I said very clearly in this tweet that I was more worried about our home games than our remaining away games. I said that I think away from home, we're allowed to play more. And when we're allowed to do that, it's going to be a long evening for a day, whatever you want to call it, for whoever we're playing against. Because, you know, they can't play at home and shut up shop and play low blocks like they do when they come to the Emirates, which just plays into our hands. And I think when you look at our results away from home, bar the odd one here or there, Everton, etc., we've been very, very good away from home, very comfortable. And we've been getting clean sheets and scoring, you know, plenty goals and everything else. So I think I'm right in, you know, what I said, because obviously when you go to the Emirates, you know, teams turn up and they're like, we're not going toe-to-toe with Arsenal because they'll just pull us apart. So we have to play low blocks and we have to be defensive. We go all out to try and get that goal. That I think what happens is that we leave the space and that we become a little bit naive at times, maybe. Maybe that's the youth and, you know, not being in this situation. There is that bit of naivety. But yeah, I think that that's what you see at the Emirates. And, you know, you don't have to look at Newcastle, for example. A side that I've watched loads of times this season, and no matter who they go up against, they go toe-to-toe with them. Even Man City, they go head-to-head with them. They try and take them on. You know, when they played at St James's Park against Newcastle early in the season, when Newcastle played Man City at St James's Park earlier on in the season, it was 3-3, and they were 3-1 up at one point, and they just went, you know, absolutely 100 miles an hour. They tried that in the opening 10 minutes at the Emirates, and then they literally went, nah, sorry, go back defensive. Let's just literally stick everybody behind the ball. So, listen, that's a massive, massive performance. And, you know, you may have heard about it, you know, during the week or whatever. And I've been actually talking about this on my videos and stuff. And I try not to look ahead, but we are at this point now where our next league game at home to Crystal Palace, it's a chance for us to go 8 points clear of Manchester City, because Manchester City do not play in the Premier League next weekend because of FA Cup commitments. And then we have the international break, and we're not back until April the 1st. Now, we can go into that international break 8 points clear of Manchester City. They will have a game in hand, of course, but points on the board is always more important than games in hand. So we can go 8 points clear. And on April the 1st, we play Leeds United at home and Manchester City play Liverpool. So you never know. Depends what Liverpool turns up. Is it the one that turned up against Man United or the one that turned up against Bournemouth? We'll have to wait and see. But listen, it's a massive win. It's 3 points in the bag. It's a clean sheet. Gabriel Jesus has returned. I'm absolutely buzzing about it. I'm happy. We moved to Thursday night in the Europa League. Let's go and concentrate on that and try and qualify for the quarterfinals. And then we'll focus on the Crystal Palace game next weekend. So listen, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.